Today we continue to dive into one of the best collections I've ever filmed. This lot was in Monday's episode. We're also taking a look at additional pictures from Ibrhaim's previous collection, as well as this, which I now own. So on Monday, we filmed Ibrhaim's incredible kiosk collection, but it gets even better. Where are we?
We are in the art room.
Okay. And it's not just any old art, of course. You know, this being a gaming channel, I'm surrounded by
original video game art. So this is the original artwork for magazines, for box art, you know, anything published, illustrated. So it's actual original hand-painted artwork.
And weirdly, I said to you off camera, I came into this room and I am more blown away by this than I am as to what you saw on Monday. I feel like so much more emotion going on in here, weirdly. It's a very strange but amazing feeling. And we're going to talk through some stuff and you're going to hear my stomach rumbling. So shout out to my stomach because it's really rumbling. So we'll go around and we'll see some of the best pieces in the UK, would you say?
There's some good collectors in the UK that have some really good pieces. Okay. Yeah, so there's some really nice pieces here.
Yeah, and I know nothing about video game art other than what I've read in Bitmap books. The Art of the Box is an incredible resource.
Brilliant book, yeah, brilliant. Sam put that book together with his team, and you know, like every other book he does, amazing. They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, incredible, absolutely beautiful. So go and check them out and use code JUICY5 for 5% off. But yeah, let's take a look around. And now a word from our amazing sponsor. Get 5% off with Bitmap Books. Bitmap Books delivers the highest quality, most visually splendid gaming books ever produced. Every book, both published and up and coming, is packed with gorgeous artwork, information and interviews. And with Bitmap Books, you can expect high quality binding as well as secure shipping, making sure your books are delivered safe and securely. So for all of their products, check out bitmapbooks.com today and grab yourselves a slice of history, just as I've done many a time. Right, so are we starting in this corner?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, all
why
right.
not? So we could start with Sonic. As I said, you know, over the years, I've come to appreciate Sega and Sonic. And this is a Greg Martin original. Greg Martin was the illustrator of the Sonic box arts in the US. And that also made it on to the PAL and Europe scenes in some instances. So this is a advertisement. This painting is for an advertisement for the Sonic Lifesavers. And what's really cool about this is it's got Sonic with the Genesis, Mega Drive, and it's, you know, Sonic's holding the box art which Greg Martin drew. So for me, it's like you get a bit of box art, but in an advertisement. So Greg Martin, who's sadly no longer with us, iconic illustrator, one of the best ever. He's drawn some fantastic box art. So to have a Greg Martin Sonic piece is, you know, really, really special, and collectors always want to get a Greg Martin Sonic. So for me, this is a really special, beautiful piece.
And I just think the colour contrast on it is stunning with the yellow, really does make it pop. And like you said, you know, Greg Martin, who unfortunately is no longer with us. I mean, it's brill. I mean, do you know in America, do you know what they're called in the UK, Lifesavers?
What are they called?
Polos.
Oh, yes.
So they have the little hole in the middle. So if somebody swallows it, it's got that hole so people can still breathe. So it's a random fact within a beautiful piece of artwork there.
Give medical advice too.
But be careful.
For anybody who's interested in reading more about Greg Martin, we actually did a biography on our website, originalvideogameart.com. So you can see all of the other box art he's drawn. So it's really cool. You'll go through his box art catalog and he's done some fantastic pieces.
Brilliant. And of course we'll link that in the description for you guys to go and check that out if you want to know more. So wow. And this is placed beautifully next to Star Fox.
Yeah, so
These days we got
this is
loads.
for Star Fox 2. So this was the magazine for Total Magazine. It was showcasing Star Fox 2. Unfortunately, it never got released up until the SNES Mini came out.
Of course.
So,
Oh, wow.
so that's the original painting for this magazine here, and this is done by Paul Kidby, who is a extraordinary artist and talent we have in the UK. Paul's done some fantastic, not only magazine covers but also box art, and we'll preview some more that he's done. But he's done also like Prince of Persia on the NES in the UK. He's done Xenon, which I own. He's done some fantastic illustrations, and you know, there's a bit of airbrushing on this painting. For those that don't know, airbrushing, it's you know, it's a different sort of technique to just using brushes, but it's just a stunning illustration, and to get anything Star Fox is rare, so I was very happy to add this to my collection.
Yeah, that is stunning, and having the magazine there just really makes you realise that
that's and that's what I've done. For example, here, this is like the original line artwork for the Flintstones Burger Time game. This is a Europe one. I think in the US they had a different box art, and this is done in a different style. So it's done by pencil and inks, and they would sort of color it after the fact, and then you know, reproduce it for the box art. But it's really cool, and framing it with the published piece is really nice also.
Yeah, you can see the lines in the background as well. I don't know if it should pick it up on the camera, but that is, yeah, I never noticed that till you pointed it out actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, unbelievable.
If we move on to one of my special pieces here, this is by the fantasy artist Julie Bell. This is for Super Valleys 4 on the Super Nintendo. It only had an NTSC release, but it's actually a nice game. I played it after sort of I got the artwork, and it's actually a fun game to play through. And I think they made like about 10 games in that series, so it's really cool. But Julie Bell, for those that don't know, is fantasy artist, and her partner Boris Vallejo, one of the best artists of our time. And Julie's also up there, so it's a fantastic oil piece, and one I'm very proud to own. And it's crazy because when you see the original, and you own the original, and it's like it's something so special. Because before I used to just collect the boxes, the CIBs, the grades, the sealed games, but to have the actual final painting for it, it's like finally one of one. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah, it to see it in person, it's just, you just don't really appreciate. I mean, you see the box art and it does look incredible, but then you see the painting, and I'm like, you know, and side note, I've never even played the game, so now I'm interested in playing the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, it's a double whammy for me. It's beautiful painting.
It's beautiful. And Julie, that's actually Julie modeled herself. So that's her. She posed herself, and that's modeled after her. And that's how she paints. Every artist, illustrator has their own style.
Okay.
With Julie and Boris, they would use live models, photograph them, and they have a database of different photographs in different poses. And then she'd work out the sort of layout, the composition, and then she'll start painting it in oil. And it's pretty cool, you know. You've got, you know, lion, you've got a metalled out warrior, and then you've got the warrior princess, you know, waiting to strike him down. You know, sort of colossal scene. It's beautiful.
Is she still alive?
Yes, Julie's alive. So
Brilliant.
again, we've done a biography on Julie Bell and her husband Boris, and Boris has done some fantastic pieces. You know, he's done Golden Axe, so he's done some iconic pieces, and so has Julie. So those two names in the video game art scene are quite iconic and very much collectible.
Okay. And where can people, you mentioned about did you say you've done like an interview or something with
Yes,
them?
we covered, we did a video where we covered Julie and Boris's sort of works. So that's on our podcast. So we could sort of link that on our channel.
Perfect. Amazing. I'm going to get that game as well. I am getting that game now.
It's crazy. Once you when you buy different random things, you come across games you've never heard of, and then you're like, oh, I want to play it now. So it's pretty cool.
I'm going to buy that now. So thank you.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then coming round again, I mean, it just gets better and better, this place does. I mean, what are we looking at in this corner here?
So this is by Simon Bisley. Simon Bisley is quite a talent here in the UK, homegrown talent. So this is a cover he's done for Weapon Lord, the game, and that's the Game Pro magazine. I actually own the game box art painting, and Simon Bisley actually touched it up earlier this year. I was messaging him like, the painting's a bit damaged, can you touch it up? So I went down, I saw him at Comic-Con, he touched it up, and I took the game and box art, and he signed it for me. I've got a nice picture with him, so it's pretty cool. But Simon's such a character. When he puts in like random little bits, and that sort of looks somewhat cheeky.
Yeah, if you
I'm not saying
sure
anything
the viewers will.
But yeah, he's a fantastic artist. This is all done in oil, so it's pretty cool. And to get a Simon Bisley piece is special. So I've got this one and the box art for it. So it's cool. And that was for Game Pro magazine.
Game Pro magazine,
which is only in the US. Yeah.
Okay. And did you frame all of these?
Yeah. I mean, I frame everything in like UV museum glass to protect it, and it's really important. And if it's not framed, it's sort of I preserve it with the right sort of material, and this room is sort of climate controlled, so everything is same temperature.
Wow.
So you have to when you start collecting artwork, you have to sort of change what your environment. So if sometimes I still do, I store some stuff in the attic. You can't do that with artwork. You have to really think about where you're storing it, how you're storing it, the different materials. Whereas a lot of us have stuff in the attic, in the loft, and you can't do it with this stuff. It will deteriorate.
Wow. So you're like, I can feel your energy, I feel your dedication, and I admire that so much to collect at this level. Such intricate pieces, and I dare say we've not even seen it all because there's like drawers after drawers after drawers. Brilliant. And then I've always been a sucker for like maps as a kid. I loved top-down art. So seeing this map of the world, Kron, Might and Magic 2, and of course we have the actual map there. Tell us about this piece.
This is a really special piece. Not unfortunately, but the final painting for this is with the game developer, someone I spoke to, and he has this proudly in his collection, as he should. But I was able to contact the artist, and I said, do you have anything from Might and Magic? Do you have a little sketch or anything? And he's like, oh, I've got the composition painting. So what this is, it's different pieces have been pasted on to this board, and this is where he's working out the different sort of layout that he wants, and then he goes in by pencil and he's sort of adding to it the borders, the little castle. So he adds different pieces to it, and he's just at this point the artist is trying to put together the picture he wants to paint. So this is the layout, the composition he's putting together before he goes finally and paints this. At the time when I bought it, I didn't think it was this big. I thought it was, it was small. I thought it was this size, and then lo and behold, I get it, and it's this huge, beautiful thing. So really special piece, again, for Super Nintendo, which is one of my favorite consoles to collect. So really special piece here.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And what is this? Is this?
That's a comic I did for, so Original Video Game Art is our website, originalvideogameart.com. When we launched it, I did some sort of comics, I did different merch for it, and this comic sort of goes through the story of some heroes who are trying to save some original artwork from some baddies who are trying to sort of get the artwork and damage them and stuff. So it was just some little little piece I put together during COVID when I had nothing to do and I was working on the website. So I sent this out to all the people in our Facebook group, the original Video Game Art Collectors Facebook group. So it was just a little fun piece, a little passion project I did myself.
Well done.
But yeah, it's there's a PDF, so I could link to that if people want.
Yeah, let's get that read. Where can people buy the hard copy?
I've got I still have probably about 50 of them. I mean, if anybody's interested, join our Facebook group and DM me, and I'll send it to you for free. It's I've got, I think, about 50 more, so that's fine.
Will you sign one if I get one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Nice, awesome. Thank you. Sweet. And we'll get that linked as well, because that's beautiful. Yeah, it's great.
Really?
So so I'm also seeing obviously we got the kind of classic character Bubsy.
Yeah.
We're kind of coming around into this area now. So do you want to talk us through some of these stunning pieces?
So up here we've got 2 Bubsy pieces. These were illustrations for the comic inside the manual. So if you actually open your Bubsy manual, and I mean, as a kid, if I ever got a manual, I would open it up to just see what it is. I wouldn't read it, but I'd just go through, see what it is. And inside the Bubsy manual is a little comic book about just a random story. So these are the actual paintings for the comic book, and I've got another piece where we can show it later on with the actual manual. But yeah, just some nice illustrations there. And then next to it is a game called G2, Genocide 2. It never got released, but the painting was previewed in EGM magazine. So there's a little mock-up of the box art for G2. It got a Japanese release, but not a US or a PAL release.
Okay.
But I just love the painting, even though it's an unreleased one. It just looked really cool, and I snagged it up when it went up for sale. And that's by the artist Ezra Tucker. Yeah, it's a fantastic piece.
It's a beautiful piece. Yeah. I love the colours, lots of different colours in there that it's phenomenal. And then this seems to kind of really kind of jump out at me.
Yes, I mean, this is what started it all, so that's why I framed it so beautifully. But it's also because it's the original artwork for the US, the Japanese, and the PAL. And I just thought it's a trifecta. It was my first piece I ever bought. Sort of when I saw this piece, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was a poster, and a friend of mine, someone posted it. I'm like, I'd like this poster. Is it for sale? He's like, it's not a poster. It's the original artwork. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what you're saying. He's like, this is the original artwork that was scanned, photographed, and then printed onto the box art. And I'm like, are you serious? Is that even real? And he sort of linked me to the Facebook group, which we now manage, and that I sort of help manage now. And that's when I sort of was introduced to the original artwork world. And I was able to make a deal and buy this painting. Luckily, it was in the UK, so I actually drove down myself, picked it up in person, and so it's the first piece I ever got. It's by Don Bluth, iconic, somebody, artist, illustrator, creator, Don Bluth. So it's the sequel to Dragon's Lair. Space Ace, so for anybody that played it would know Dragon Lair being very popular in the arcade scene. But yeah, fantastic piece, and one I'm very happy to have in the collection.
So this piece essentially started your love for this beautiful hobby. Yeah.
And it was the downfall for the displays I was collecting, the sealed games and graded games. As soon as I was sort of introduced to this world, I just knew in my mind, I'm like, everything can go. I don't care about, I do care about them, but not like before, because it's a one of one. Before I was collecting graded sealed games in a 9.8, a 10, whatever you want to call it, trying to get the unique one of one. Everybody wants that one piece that's just, oh, I only have that one, nobody else has it. But they do, it's out there. You're always going to get another brilliant, pristine copy appear, But when you own the original painting, it's not, another one's not going to turn up. It was only this.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you can't top it.
No.
That's it. It's as the collector told me, it's the end game for retro video game collecting. So you can't top the original artwork.
And here it is, like you said, the trifecta, all the different regions of box art, and a game I don't own. So again, one I'm now going to buy because
Not the best game.
No, I've seen the gameplay.
Yeah, not the best game.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I just do that. I look at the gameplay and I'm like, okay, I feel like I've played it. That's enough.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then obviously, what is this? This is kind of Magic the Gathering I'm seeing.
No, that's just like some random cards, but that's
random stuff going on.
The baseball, it was a prop used in a commercial, in an advertisement for, I think it was Ken Griffey Jr.
Right. I'm seeing the Super Nintendo thing on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and in the back as well, the artwork in the back.
So it was for Ken Griffey Jr. It was an advertisement prop they used, so it was just a fun piece. I just thought, I'll grab that.
It's a nice centerpiece for the room, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to get.
Cool. All right. Is it gonna roll? Yeah. All right. So we're kind of like we've kind of come down a little bit. Lots of colour here. We've got a beautiful clock. And lots of intriguing pieces here. So yeah.
So going back to Bubsy, so this is the sort of in the manual. If you open it up, there's a comic, and these are the illustrations by Ken Macklin, and you get to see all the pieces, and this is that's the painting for that scene there. It's a double page spread, so it's a nice landscape piece.
Page 12,
and
page 12, page 13, page 13. Yes, incredible, unbelievable. And the Turtles thing, and I'm a Turtles girl as well. So what is that?
Yeah, that's by the artist Steve Levine, and it's just a Turtles Get Well Soon card. So this is the artwork for that was printed out. So it's just a cool little fun piece to have. Yeah.
Nice.
And then we've got up here another piece by Paul Kitby. This is the Battletoads artwork. I forgot. It wasn't Total Magazine. It was another magazine. I think you had it. You got Kev to sign it.
I have got it. Yeah.
I can't remember. Game Masters.
I want to say it's Total.
Was it Total? Okay, it might be Total.
It might be. We'll have it on the screen anyway.
Yeah, one of the future publications, and it was just the original painting for Battletoads, and it's beautiful. Paul Kitby being such a talent, it's just, look at the aggression, the face, and this. I think on the magazine there's like some text here. That's why it's sort of torn, but it's stunning.
Beautiful.
And then up top there we've got the Metroid cover for Superplay magazine by Will Overton, and Will's done all the not all but a lot of the book covers for Bitmap Books. So if you're a collector of Bitmap Books, you've definitely seen Will's work.
Right.
And that's one of the original magazine covers he's done, and he does it in the sort of anime style, and on the reverse is the paint. It's on a cell, so it's a nice little fun piece, and that was actually given by Will to a charity.
Okay.
So it was sold in a charity auction and then resold a few times until I got my hands on it.
Wow.
So it's fun. Every sort of piece has a story, so it's pretty cool.
And this is what we're learning. It's great. Some history going on. And then I love this kind of, I recently picked this up, and I do have quite a lot of Mario Brothers VHS here. Like, not here, but at home, sorry, because I'm clocking this.
Yeah, so that's one. I had a few of those, and I sort of kept this one for myself. There was a store in the UK, I forgot what store it was, but he got like 3 Mario VHS artwork, and a couple other Ninja Turtle ones. I was lucky enough to get all 3 of the Mario ones, and 2 of them I've sort of left my collection, but this one I've kept, and it's just cool to get, to have a VHS in your collection, is a must for, a retro collector. but to get the artwork for it is pretty cool. And you have all the characters, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, you've got, you know, Princess, so like, you know, it's brilliant. Ticks it for me.
Yeah.
And
the box is ticked.
yeah. And then
Fabulous.
you've got Lester,
Yep.
the Unlikely.
Not the best game,
Absolutely
still.
not the best game, but the artwork is beautiful, stunning. It's one of my favorite pieces in terms of artwork. So I absolutely love the artwork. Not a fan of the game, but I just love that artwork. It's so cool. So yeah, I love it.
Well, and then I'm clocking for the Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Creak my knees all the way down to Return of the Jedi.
Bring him up. So this is by Steiner Lund, and it's for Return of the Jedi on the Atari. And I also think it was used as the advertisement for the arcade machine, the arcade game.
Okay.
In an advertisement. So just a beautiful piece. Steiner Lund, being in the UK, I just had to grab this when it went up for sale, and picked it up in person. So that's always nice, you know, got to sort of meet the artist.
Yeah.
He signed a few posters for me, so that was really cool.
Of course.
Got Luke, Millennium Falcon, you know, you got Vader, the Death Star, you've got everything you want. So it's just a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
And being a Star Wars fan, it was a must grab for me.
Yes.
So you can tick off a game piece at the same time. Star Wars doesn't get much better. So it's just
stunning.
yeah. And you know, it's funny, a lot of people don't know, but George Lucas keeps a lot of the actual illustrations, at least he used to. So a lot of stuff is actually retained by the George Lucas archive.
Right, okay.
So this one wasn't, so I was happy to have this in my collection.
That one slipped through the net, and here it is.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, right in the
So-
happy birthday, Bugs.
Yeah, so funny story with this. I actually reached out to an artist about a different piece, and I was asking him, I'm like, have you done any other, you know, video game artworks? And he was looking through sort of his storage and came across this, which a few collectors thought was lost. So it's like, you know, that painting's, because they asked the question before of the artist, and the artist like, I don't have it. So it was thought, oh, this piece is lost or was never returned by the, you know, publisher or game developer. So yeah, you know, luckily for me, he found it, and I was able to make a deal, and it's the artwork for Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout. And what year was this? This was 1990.
Good old,
And-
the start of the best decade ever.
Yeah, and that was 50 years. So now that's like 84 years.
Wow.
So I'm gonna wait until it's 100 years and then sell it.
There you go, guys. If you want to grab
Yeah.
that at 100 years old,
Yeah.
it's going to be for sale.
Yeah, so it's a really cool piece. NES, you know, to get any NES sort of box art painting is really rare.
Yes.
But let alone to get something, you know, Bugs Bunny, it's pretty cool. So that,
Impeccable.
yeah, it's really nice. Up here we've got Snake's Revenge. This is not the artwork, so this was just a print, but I got the artist Tom Dubois to sign it.
Yeah.
And then I had him sign a card for me, so that was pretty cool.
Nice, nice.
So that's just, I thought I'd frame that and keep that. And then we've got 2 more pieces here by Paul Kidby. These were for future publication magazines. So we've got Street Fighter, of course, and Phantasy Star. So just love this sort of scenery and all. You know, it's all red here, the colors, the background, but the way he blends it in just looks so good. And for him to work within that sort of palette and distinguish, you know, different sort of areas and depths, it's really nice. So I had to grab that piece.
Yeah, that you're right about the colour composition on that is just mind-bending.
Wow. And then up there we've got the original artwork for College Slam. Really, really fantastic piece.
I see the border is almost like it emulates the basketball in that kind of like orangey, crispy, whatever colour that actually is. Yeah, it's like this the same texture. Nice touch.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. And of course, Gemma's Holy Grail M80C with a plug there. Let's go. Beautiful. And then yeah, we kind of like moving around. We got all kinds of things.
Yeah, so this is for Dragon's Lair. So this is
iconic as hell.
Yeah. And this was a Australian magazine. So I tracked down the artist in Australia and was able to sort of make a deal with him and get this piece.
Truly beautiful. Wow. That's a great picture as well. All the kind of guts flying around and just the swords, just the, you know, the blood dripping off the sword there. It's just,
yeah, it's great.
In the moment, it's, yeah.
And then with this, actually, the artist was like, oh, I want to be paid in Ethereum. I'm like, what? So I had to like open a, you know, cryptocurrency account.
No.
And he's like, I want to make an NFT of it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like it took me a month to set everything up.
Wow.
And then eventually I, you know, paid him in Ethereum. And then he sent me an NFT. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that now. So I've got an NFT of this.
Which is like,
okay,
the NFT days are done, aren't they? But
yeah.
you have it nonetheless.
Yeah, so I'm like, I've got the artwork. I don't want the NFT, but I've got it. So it's pretty funny.
Bro.
And then over here we've got cover for GamePro magazine by the artist Frank Sirocco, and an amazing talent. He's done a lot of box art for on the Super Nintendo and the NES. He's done Bionic Commando.
Yes.
So that's a fantastic piece. And if you look over here, you know, the reflection he's put onto this blade, you know, captures that the opponent there. It's pretty cool, and I think that's a film, and he's drawn onto the film like a little cell, and that's why it shimmers. It's pretty cool.
So clever.
And then two more pieces by Paul Kidby again, another Street Fighter, one for Total magazine, and then the Zenon cover. Who you know, kids, collectors that are a bit older now, sort of my age, would know this on the Atari and on the arcade. And this is a fantastic special piece, and you know, Paul's just an amazing talent.
Yeah.
And I was pestering him for I think 2-3 years until eventually they were able to get this out of their storage. And he's done this in 1987, and then eventually you know, I was able to grab it. So that was pretty cool.
Stunning. I just love it. This is one of my favorite bits so far, these two. But yeah, and then yeah, we got even more. There's just so much to. This is
for a Nintendo Power cover.
Okay.
So this is sort of the draft, or the, you know, the sketch the artist has put before the final painting.
Nice.
So there is a final painting. It's in the Nintendo Power archive, which is run by Stephen Reese.
Yep.
And he does a tour. He does a sort of touring. He has a touring museum. He goes throughout the U.S. and exhibits his collection, and he's got a fantastic Nintendo Power collection. So if anybody's interested, check out his page, and you'll see some fantastic Nintendo Power artwork. But I was able to sort of make a little deal with him where we swapped some artworks, and I got this piece. He got some other Nintendo Power pieces from me. So that was pretty cool.
Incredible. We've even got an old HMV sign we've clocked. Loving that kind of little finesse.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah,
perfect.
Where I can get sort of anything UK oriented. So HMV, I'll always grab it. So I've got this one and then the Mega Drive, so I framed this one up just to protect it.
Yes.
So that's really nice. And then we've got a Mortal Kombat piece, one of my favorite pieces. Again, by Paul Kidby, amazing talent. It's just, I love it, absolutely love it. You know, if I could keep one piece only, probably from my magazine collection, it would be this. This is really, really special. And yeah,
Wow.
framed it in this sort of dark gothic sort of frame just so it blends in.
Yeah, it really adds to that kind of cemetery vibe that they've got going on there, fighting with the fireballs and the moon in the background.
Yeah, and you've got the logo there, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't see that. Of course, yeah, just kind of glimmering in front of the moon. Yeah, see it right there.
And then this is a advertisement for Golden Axe, so that's pretty cool also.
I thought it was Golden Axe.
Yeah, it's got some other, you know, random characters, but overall it's like a Golden Axe arcade advertisement piece. And then we've got the Castlevania N64 sketch, and why this is special is Konami kept the final painting, and the artist was able to retain the sketch, so this is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Konami lost all of their artwork archive from an earthquake.
Oh no.
I might be misremembered, but I think that is the case, and they've lost a lot of their artwork archive. So this is probably as good as it gets for this particular box art. So that's, you know, really special piece right there. There's a couple other pieces
Okay.
we could show
That aren't out, or
that aren't out.
that aren't out.
Special pieces, but
Is these all full?
no, not all full. But
Okay.
we can cut away, put it out,
Okay.
and we'll show the viewers something.
We have something
really special.
very special. Right, let's do this.
All right. So
Right, here we go. I have no idea what we're doing, what's going on. So before we reveal this, what makes this piece so special?
I mean, for me and a lot of fans, you know, this is probably their favorite game. I mean, it's one of the most iconic games of a series that's really popular. So, and it's something in the game that you're always looking at.
Okay.
So, I mean, you'll know it immediately, but this is the map for Zelda: A Link to the Past.
There's just no way.
And it's the strategy guide sketch.
Oh my.
And you've got everything. You know, you've got the sanctuary, you've got the castle, you've got Link's house over here, you've got the what's it called?
The
Blacksmith's house.
Yeah.
It's just it's brilliant, you know.
I mean, this is just...
Hyrule, it's just brilliant.
And then just the random little text there. I'm not going to touch it. It's just like clouds, lake,
Yeah, so
mud.
that's the artist sort of trying to work out the layout before he goes in and illustrates the painting. And the painting does exist. It's with a fellow collector, but you know, for me, this is the painting's out of reach. You know, it's somewhat unattainable. So to get this is really special, and it's just a fantastic, beautiful piece. And it's my favorite game probably of all time.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's kind of, I don't really know what to say. Just looking at it, you know, as a kid, like you said, when you press
X.
right, and the map comes up, and then you get the map out of the game, and you look at this map so much as a kid.
Yeah.
And you've traversed these lands so many times, and you've been in these houses, and you've tried to chop the trees, and now you stood in front of like.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. Yeah,
what the
I'll
emotion
just, you know,
I'm feeling right now is.
You've got the
so
X there. Oh, then time to go and get the Master Sword, and you've got the, you know, you've got the different castles you've got to reach. So now you got to go here, and it's the lake. That's the lake where in the Dark World, you know, you can find another heart. It just brings back so many memories, so many things. It's just, it's brilliant.